What is up, Keller Williams agents? It is Sam Jackson with In Command with Sam, Director of Innovation and Technology for Keller Williams in North Atlanta. And today, I'm excited to show you kind of a triple threat. Today, we're going to go over creating a design, creating a landing page, and promoting a listing on Facebook. So the reason why this is a triple threat, because I want to show you my best practices that if I want to create a Facebook ad to advertise a listing, how to show and how to create a very dynamic ad or content piece within designs, and then also how to create a incredible landing page that should generate you more leads by giving them something very specific to your potential clients on Facebook. So let's just jump right in. I'm in command right now. And the first thing I want to do whenever I create an ad on Facebook, I want to think about the end in mind. So if I create a beautiful design piece, I create a very engaging ad on Facebook, and if I do not have the right landing page or the right end website that my clients go to, all they're going to do is copy and paste that address and take it to Zillow. So today we're actually going to create a landing page that should create and generate leads that will land back into your command dashboard. So I'm going to show you how to do that first. So let's start with the end in mind, and we're going to jump right into landing pages. So to do that, we're going to click on the Sites button, which is down here in the bottom left. This is your Sites tool. For some computers, I've noticed, depending on the zoom of your screen, you may need to zoom out to see this. To do that within Chrome, you would click on the kebab, which is this in the top right-hand corner, and then you can zoom out. Like I'm at 80%, but if I'm at 100, I lose functionality or I lose sites or some things. So zoom that out to make sure that you see sites down here in the bottom. I'm going to click on this. Give this a second to load, and you'll see these are all of the templates that I have created in the past for landing pages, but I want to create one from scratch. So I'm going to go up to the top right-hand corner here and click on Create a New Site. Now I get to choose between, is this something that's going to live on my agent site? And as of today, which is November 15th, 2019, this is not currently working. This is something that's going to be launched here pretty soon. But I want to click on a standalone page, meaning that this is a kind of like a turn and burn landing page. Okay, click Create Page. And this is awesome. So if you are overwhelmed, don't be. What we're creating essentially is a from scratch single page website. So this is a blank canvas right here in front of you. And this is super easy because we're going to use the widget tools within landing pages to make this really seamless that anybody can use this. So don't be afraid. But basically, you just want to think a little bit about every single website you've ever gone to. Basically, all of them have the same structure. They have something like a branded header or header at the top with a menu. They have the meat and potatoes in the middle with the content. A lot of them will have a contact form and then also a legal footer. So we're going to do that today. We're basically just going to create a website from scratch with just 4 pieces, these 4 widgets on the right-hand side. So it's my recommendation. I like to build from the bottom up because I think it's a little bit easier in Command to do that. So that being said, I'm going to start at the bottom of what my website's going to look like. I'm going to grab a legal footer. So I'm going to grab the legal footer widget. I'm just going to click this, left click it, and drag it over. And you'll see that we have this green line at the top. That tells me that that's where this widget's going to land. So I'm just going to drop it, and you'll see it stick in place. The next thing I want to do is give me a contact or lead form. So I'm going to click the lead form widget here. I'm going to click it and drag it. And the reason why I suggest building this from the bottom up is that it's really easy to see this green bar go at the bottom versus, or go at the top versus at the bottom. Things get a little bit wonky when you have to reorder it. So I'm just going to stick it to the top here. I'm going to build from the bottom up. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Next is my meat and potatoes. So you can choose to do something like a market snapshot or a listing. In today's example, we're going to go over creating a listing advertisement. So I'm just going to grab the listing widget. I'm going to drop it into place. You'll see that load. And do not worry that this says Austin, Texas. What we're building is the structure of our website, and then we're going to go into the actual content of it. So don't worry. And the last thing I typically do is a branded header. So I grab that widget and drop it. So just like that, we've laid out the structure of a landing page with just 4 quick click and drag. So you guys got this. Once I have the layout and the structure complete, the next thing I want to do is just go down to the bottom right here and click on Configure Widgets, which is where I kind of customize and create the content that I want here. So today, what you see here is that my lead form is completed. My legal footer is already good, so we have check marks here. The last thing I need to do is just kind of finish and pick my listing, and then also my branded header. So I'm going to just start at number 1 and work my way through. And for my header text, I'm just going to put something like, amazing listing near you. All right, and again, you be a little bit more specific. I'm just doing this for example. Click Save and Apply, and you'll see my header shows up right here. Then I'm going to click on this right arrow. I'm just going to go to my next widget, which was my listing. Oops, I double clicked, sorry about that. I'm going to browse from the KWLS, so I'm just going to go in here, and I'm going to use an example today. I'm going to use one of my agent's listings here in the office, 161 Cedar Street. And here we go, the one in Roswell for $475. I'm going to pick select. And then from here, all I need to do on the right-hand side is pick what picture I want to use. And what I choose, which you'll see here is kind of highlighted by this blue box, will appear in this area right here. So I like that front image. Maybe I'll pick this one right here. I click Save and Apply, and you'll see this upload or update. I don't like that one. I'm just going to click on the other photo, and just like that, it updates again. Cool? All right. After that, I click Save and Apply. All of my widgets are complete, so you'll see that everything here is checked off, which means I am good. So now I can go to the top and publish my page, meaning that I will now have an active link. One thing I forgot to do is I'm going to name this. So I'm just going to go over here in the left-hand corner, 161 Cedar. Click Publish Page, and I now have an active landing page. So that's step one if you want to create a very dynamic Facebook ad. Step two is that now I have my end result, I have my landing page in place. The next thing I want to do is when I go to create my Facebook ad itself, I want to have a really nice shot in place. I want to have a nice little graphic that's kind of custom, not just the front picture of my landing page or the front picture of my listing. So what I'm going to do is then go into Designs, which is this icon, icon right here, Designs. And because I want or I intend to do a social media post, I'm going to click on Social. I'm going to click the plus sign down here in the bottom right. Confirm that I'm going to do a social ad, and I can actually import photos from a listing. So I'm going to grab this button right here, click Create Design, and this will prompt me to pick my listing. So again, we're going to choose 161 Cedar. And where are we at? Right here. Cool. I'm going to pick Select. And I do have to re-sign in. That's probably because I'm in incognito mode. Right on, we are loading and good. Cool. So one of the most important things, and let me move my face out of the way here. One of the most important things with designs is I encourage you, and this is actually just best practice period, choose what your goal is on the left-hand side. So I want to make sure I know what I want to choose over here before I jump to picking between LinkedIn and Instagram. Because what will happen is if my intention is to do an Instagram or Facebook ad, and then I change this from agent sites to client love, this defaults back to the number one. So you want to think about what it is your end goal or what your ad wants to be about. So I'm going to do a for sale here, and then I choose my structure. So this is going to be Facebook. Let me see, which one am I feeling today? I'm going to go with a pretty nice simplistic one. So I got for sale, and I like this one right here. So I'm going to click Use. Get my face back. Give this a second to load into WeBrand. And I think you all will be very, very pleased on how easy you can do this. So I have used designs a good bit. So you'll see that I already have a library of things in place. So my headshot and some photos that I've used in the past are in here. You can create your own library by just clicking on this Add to Library button and kind of pre-populating a lot of your logos and images and things like that. So I encourage you to do it. But this is pretty easy. I'm just going to do some clicking and dragging. So the first thing I want to do is actually swap out my DBA logo. So DBA logo is your Market Center logo. If your Market Center does not have one, I encourage you to use just the general Keller Williams one, but make sure you update this. So to do that, I'm going to click on the logo button right here. And in my library, I should have my Keller Williams North Atlanta one. And this is super cool. Hopefully you guys appreciate how easy this is. I just click, I drag over until I see it replace, and then it's as simple as that. I'm not uploading, not doing anything. It's just ready to go. Another neat feature is that on the left-hand side, I just go down to the KWLS, and I can find the images and the info for the listing that I want to use. So because I've already selected 161 Cedar, it's preloaded in here. So I'm just going to click this image that I want to use and drag it over to this money shot, and just like that, I can change that image relatively easily. So this is a really, really neat feature that I can kind of use whatever shot that I love the most, and that one's pretty cool. Now, if you are an all-star agent and you have a lot of listings and you forget the details of every single listing that you have here on the market, that's okay, because I've just picked 161 Cedar, I can choose the listing details and see exactly what I need to know here. So I should know the address, but it's 161 Cedar Street. I just come in here, triple click, and kind of hit the delete button on my computer. I type in 161 Cedar Street, Roswell. Now, I'll be honest with you. One of the most important things that if I am creating a Facebook ad, I may not want to put the address in, because do we know why it's best not to share the address right on Facebook? I don't know why I'm asking that, because you can't respond. But the answer to that is, if I am a consumer and I am already kind of trained and conditioned to go to Zillow, I'm just going to jot down or quickly remember that street address. I'm going to go to Zillow directly. We want to create some kind of enticement from the click on this ad. So what I'm going to do is just kind of more of like a call to action here, or just delete it out completely and just say one to watch in Roswell. I'm not going to give them the actual street address, if that makes sense. And then from here, I can change anything I want. I can kind of play around with this, change the text or change the font. I'm not a huge fan of that one, but let's just kind of play around here a little bit. Here we go with Poppins. We'll go with the bold. Make this Giants 28. And then what I can do is actually kind of center this underneath the watch part. And kind of go from there. Now, I'm not a design expert, but I would probably make this a little bit larger and a little bit more precise. We'll just do that real quickly. Highlight it. Let's go to something big. Go to 44. Now, if that happens, all you have to do is click on your text box, just like PowerPoint. You just need to change that a little bit. And then I'm pretty pleased. It's pretty simplistic. That's the style I like. I do have the ownership statement in place here, so I should be in compliance and I'm good to go. And then if I'm happy with my ad, all I need to do is go to the top right-hand corner up here, click the download button, and save this as a PNG or a JPEG. Click the start download, and this will save to my computer. Give that a second. I just want to make sure that we are good. All right. There we go. It shows up on my computer. I go back to Command, click on the Done button. I hope you guys are getting a feel for how easy this is. And the last thing is, I have my design done. I have my landing page done. All I need to do is actually create my Facebook ad, and then we're going to jump right into campaigns. I'll show you how easy this is. So I click on the campaigns. Sorry, I click pause. I click on the campaigns button right here. Sometimes your recording menu gets in the way. And if you've done a lot of campaigns, you'll see all the results for your ads here. I'm not going to wait for this to load, but I'm going to click in the top right-hand corner. I'm going to click on Create a New Campaign. And then I get to choose if I'm going to create a social ad, which is Facebook, Instagram, a Google ad, a social post, which is a free. This is actually just kind of posting to your business page for free. Direct mail, which is something completely separate from what we're doing today. And then email, which will have some updates as we get some new integrations into Command. But I'm interested today in social ads, so I'm going to click on this one here. I'm going to name it. So this is 161 Cedar. I'm going to pick a goal. So what we're basically doing is telling Kelly, our artificial intelligence in Command, how to spend our money on Facebook. So I think for most agents, we're going to go after advertise listings, attract buyers, and then if you're recruiting to your team, attract talent. Event awareness is going to be used mostly for things like a client appreciation event. I would not use open houses for event awareness. That would be something I would still do for advertised listing. But today, I'm just going to go into advertised listing, and then I get to choose my media. So I'm going to go with Facebook and Instagram. We'll do those both at the same time. I set up my campaign, and now we're just going to create the ad. And again, I'm just going to pick for my listings. So I'm going to type in 161 Cedar. And this is important, even though you're typing, you're seeing that nothing's showing up. You just need to change this only my listings to all listings, and you'll see that one pop up. So now I have 161 Cedar. I pick select. And this is one of the coolest things that I love about the integration with Facebook, the KWLS, and Command. You'll see that my ad is pretty much created right from the start. I just want to tweak a couple of these details, but it's pulling the description right from the MLS. Essentially, I could be good to go right here, but I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I want to show you a couple different things in here that can make this ad really stand out. So to review, I'm just going to click on my name and my goal. That's what we just completed with the advertised listing. That's our goal. And now I'm going to change my ad text. So I'm just going to click this configure button. I'm just going to go through each of these boxes until I have this green check mark. Click on configure. And then from here, you'll see what I type in or what's in place is what will show up on the right-hand side. So escape to your own retreat is this text right here that pulled directly from the MLS. My headline, which is this information right here. So this one here, I'm just going to say, hey, must see in Roswell. Now, if I had something like an open house, this is where I'd share maybe the open house details of, coming, or open house from 2 to 4 this Saturday or something like that. In my description, keep it kind of short and sweet. I can actually click on this use suggestion button that Kelly's giving me some AIs and things that we want to see here. You could be coming home to this. A beautiful retreat in the Roswell area. All right. Now, here's a little bit of advice that I'm going to borrow from Nick Baldwin, who I was never a big fan of emojis, but it wasn't until I kind of tested some of his practices through creating his Facebook ads that it really stuck with me. But it's really funny. Emojis can really catch the eye and stop the scroll of a lot of folks. So one of the things I may want to do here is that if I'm doing something specific, like this home is a beautiful retreat, beautiful mature woods surrounding it. So I just basically want to go grab some emojis that might tie into this. But if you're advertising a golf course home, a tennis community, a home with a swimming pool, grab some of the emojis that you can kind of copy and paste in here. And one of the best ways to do this, there's a website called, I think, Emojipedia. Let me see here, Emojipedia, okay. That I kind of like. I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to search for trees. There we go. I don't think I'm going to use the Christmas tree, but there's a nice little evergreen. So I'm just going to click on evergreen, and there's a cool copy button. So we kind of treat an emojis like text. I'm just going to click copy for this particular ad, and you can do that again for something like a golf course. Just going to put a couple of these in here. And that just kind of helps drag out a little bit more tension. I can also just go back and grab like the smiley faces, and I'm going to grab the one with the starstruck sparkly eyes. And again, I wouldn't go too crazy with these. I'd maybe drop a couple in that are going to grab the attention of your clients or potential people on Facebook. But again, that just gives a little extra pop to your ad that should hopefully stop the scroll through your clients or your potential Facebook leads. If I'm happy with it, I just click Save Ad Text. I'm good to go. And then here I'm configuring out just the Facebook and Instagram ads. So I'm going to click on Add Media. If I wanted to upload my custom photo, I can do that. This is pulling in the listing from, or the listing picture from the KWLS, but I can actually change the image. And I want to add my own. And I'm actually going to go grab that design that we created in Designs just a second ago, which is hopefully in my downloads. There we go. I'm going to, let me see here, just make that a little bit larger. I want to make sure I'm happy with that. Preview and crop. Yep, that one looks pretty good to me. Save the image. And I did have a little bit of an issue there. I'm not sure if I paid attention in Designs. That's something I'd want to be consistent with. So before you kind of launch this, I'd maybe go back and see if you can tweak this. I don't want that H bleeding into it. But something to be mindful here. You just, Designs, things get shrunk and kind of weird. Just be careful with that one. But that's how you would upload your own design into Command. I'm going to save my media. And then I'm going to configure my actual Facebook and Instagram ads. So I'm going to click on Configure. And let me move my face out of the way here for a second. I'm going to choose my account. So I'm Sam Jackson. I have a bunch of pages that belongs to me. So I'm just going to grab my Market Center one, which is Keller Williams North Atlanta. And I get to choose whether I'm going to post this to an Instagram ad or an Instagram story. So an Instagram story is the quick, fast-moving, automatic stories that kind of happen within Instagram, and then the Instagram ad is placed in between the actual scroll on Facebook or Instagram itself. So for this one, I'm going to click on Instagram ad because I don't have it formatted for Instagram story. My design that is. And then for Facebook, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use the actual Facebook itself. But we have an option here of using Facebook's lead generation form or using a standalone site landing page. It's my understanding, I'm no expert, I would definitely check in with Nick Baldwin and follow his pages. He's really, really strong with all of this. But I believe there's some extra benefits of using Facebook's lead generation form because we see a higher conversion rate because Facebook already has their name, their telephone number, and their email addresses of these clients. It should make it a little bit easier for you to convert them. But I'm going to choose Facebook lead generation form. I'm going to pick my call to action, which is basically this learn more button here. I'm going to basically leave that be. My only options are what Facebook gives me, which are learn more, sign up, apply now. I'm going to leave it learn more. And then as a follow-up destination, once they've already registered with Facebook, this is then where we're going to guide them to go. So for me, what I want to do is instead of sending them to my agent website, like agents have done for many, many years, I'm going to choose the landing page that I've already created. So I'm going to click on choose site, and then you'll see all the templates I've already created. So I'm just going to scroll down until I see 161 Cedar, and then this will then kick onto the landing page that we've already created today. So again, you've now created essentially an end-to-end from design landing page and Facebook ad advertisement. So then from here, I'm going to just go down. I'm going to pick a custom audience. I'm going to choose my location. I'm going to click in the box and just pick Roswell, Georgia. I'm going to keep typing, I guess. Retro. Every now and then you'll see some little weird things like this that pop up. Don't get discouraged though. There we go, Roswell, Georgia. Just had to scroll. And then we've run into, I don't want to say we run into some issues, but Facebook's gotten really, really smart. We have some fair housing laws in place that we don't want to discriminate. So the smallest radius that we can actually advertise to make sure that we are not being discriminatory is 15 miles. So I'm just going to leave it right at that because I'm in Atlanta Metro. So you can see 15 miles would kind of get me into some pretty vast places. And then from here, once I'm happy with the location, the mileage that I want to attract to, I'm going to go into expert targeting. So I'm just going to basically target people based on their interest groups. Because I have more of a mountain retreat, maybe I'd go in here and do things like type in hiking. Or, okay, so that's not one from Facebook, but let's go into maybe travel. Yeah, business travel. Those aren't two great examples. However, if you did have like a golf course home, I would type in golf. That one should load. All right, I am 0 for 3 here. Let me go with the ones that I do know. I can just click on interest and I can browse these. So you can kind of scroll through and see all the things that might pertain to your particular listing. But for me, when you think about this, and again, I'm kind of copying from Nick Baldwin here, I want to go after some of the interests and websites that people who are actively looking for homes may be interested in. So we know that there's no reason for any particular consumer to like Zillow or Realtor.com unless they're actively looking for homes. So then I'm going to basically target them based on Zillow and Realtor.com. So I'm going to type in Zillow. And this should work for me. There we go. Now it's really important that you pick Zillow, which is the consumer site, and not Premier Agent and Trulia, which is the agent version of Zillow. So I just want to go after consumer. I'm going to click on Zillow. That becomes a target. I'm going to knock that out and go to Realtor.com. Let that load. Choose Realtor.com. And again, be careful. Do not pick Realtor.com Pro. That is the agent version of that. You want the consumer version. But anything else? So those two kind of tell me people are actively looking for homes because they like them on Facebook. There's no reason to like those websites unless you're actively searching. And then I'd grab something like golf, tennis, or any of the other things that we have in place here from an interest standpoint that you can kind of sift through and find what makes sense for your audience and your target base. Then I click Save Selection. And from there, I'm just going to click Save my Facebook and Instagram ads. And I have all of my boxes checked. So at this point, if I love everything that I've done with my ad, I feel confident I've checked all of the little details, I click on publish this campaign, and then I'll just be asked my credit card information. So from there, I should be good to go. I just choose which one I want to do, click create campaign. This is out the door. Now, one of the key things to remember is that if this is a time-sensitive ad that you're creating for something like a price reduction or a new listing or something like an open house where you have the dates on it, there is sometimes potentially a 24-hour turnaround from Facebook to review your ad by the time it goes live. So I wouldn't go posting an ad on a Saturday or Sunday morning for later that afternoon for Facebook. You want to make sure you do something at least 2 or 3 days out in advance. But one of the things I forgot to cover, because I already have my defaults in place, is the budget and duration. Mine were already defaulted, but you can choose on here and actually edit how much money you're going to spend for this ad and the time you're going to do it. So you can change when the start date would be. Today is Friday the 15th. I could maybe start this on Sunday and let this roll for basically that week. I'm going to let this end on Friday. So that's a total of 5 days. My total budget is $30, which is basically $3 a day, because I'm spending $3 both on Facebook and Instagram. And then I would just click Save Budget and Duration, and we'd be good to go. Click Publish Campaign, the same thing. That goes out the door. Congratulations. Hopefully this didn't take too long. When you get the feel for this, you'll be able to create designs, landing pages, and launch a Facebook campaign very, very quickly, like we've grown to do. But if you have any questions, as always, you can hit me up in the comment section, or you can search for Sam Jackson. Just say find Kelly, or excuse me, say find Sam Jackson. I'm Kelly. You can always email me at sam.jackson@kw.com. But do me a huge favor, give a thumbs up on this video if you like this. Give me some comments in the section below if you have any other ideas or things you'd like to go into with Command. And if you can, hit the post notification bell so that you get alerted anytime I do a new awesome video on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and stay in Command. Thank y'all.